Hey sports bettors, happy Wednesday, March 20th. My name is Boyd. I teach beginner and struggling sports bettors how to use data-driven analytics and betting tools like OddsJam to profit, finding positive expected value bets and making money in all the different markets. And so if you haven't joined the channel yet or haven't seen the channel, that's what we do here in the mornings, is try to give you some concepts and some education on the betting tools, the mathematics and the data behind positive EV betting from a top-down approach. And then, of course, give you some selections, give you some picks, and we're doing this all throughout the day. So this is just a handful of what we do, and hopefully you find some good value in the picks and also the education, and come back Monday through Friday for more of this type of content. All right, guys, real quick before we get into the selections, I want to talk to you about joining the website, boyddavis.com. If you're looking for a one-on-one consultation, simply the ability to meet one-on-one and talk about techniques, tools, strategies, and you're just getting started in the betting world, or maybe you've been struggling for quite some time, that's what I've got set up. So I've got boyddavis.com to where you can go and get signed up for a couple different time packages. What I do is do an initial meet for a half hour, kind of get educated on where you're coming from, what your goals are, and then I put together a betting plan, a profit plan. We revisit for another hour or 2 hours to go through that profit plan so you can take the immediate steps to get yourself on a good positive EV return and ROI in your sports betting. So if you're interested in some of those types of packages, hit the links down below, get signed up, and we'll get that started right away. All right, for those of you that have just kind of started to watch the channel, what we do is go through the positive expected value page. It's one of the betting tools that OddsJam provides, and you can see here the drop down. There's more betting tools like the low hold page, which I also like to hit. We'll start off the morning and just kind of check out the markets relative to the highest positive EV edge we can find. So you see over here the percent edges in the market with this player points bet on Alexander over 31.5. Now that's at Pinnacle. But what we can do is open this up and check out the pricing and the direction of the market. So we're seeing there's obviously some value here someplace. And Pinnacle, sharpest sportsbook in the world, is minus 134 on this. And you can check the pricing and monitor that it went from minus 113 all the way down to this level of minus 134. That's a 21-cent drop. And so what I could do is go over here to Caesars and pick this up at minus 104. Now, clearly, Caesars is different from Pinnacle relative to their opinion on what side this bet should be on. So you can kind of take a look at some other sports books and then even open this up again into more data. So what I like to do is I'll actually incorporate betonline.ag as one of my true norths, one of my truths relative to points, player props, I should say. And player prop bets are very important because they can really differ per sports book. You have a lot of value. If you're going to be hunting and fishing for good value, it's player props and alt lines. Okay, so you can see here BetOnline's at minus 126, and they've had a pretty flat line, so nothing's really happened there or moved there just yet. So that's kind of good to know. And again, you're using all this information to make decisions on your own decisions and choices that you can use the different markets, different mainline market making books to judge whether or not you want to make a play, and use all this data to your advantage to find the best sports book, the best market, and sift through all these on your own individually on a particular game, or again, use the positive EV page, kind of going one at a time through everything that's offered. And you can see I always hand out 3 or 4 bets, but as you can see, there is a ton of opportunity and a ton of bets. So for me to give out 3 or 4 is sort of the tip of the iceberg, what we'll be assessing and placing over the course of the day. Let's take a look real quick at the low hold page and see if we can find some value over there and get some bets placed there. All right, so here we go at the low hold page. I scroll down to the left-hand side, open up this page, and what is low hold? Well, low hold is when you can find a 0% edge here in pricing relative to minus 170 or 275 at Pinnacle, plus 275 at MGM, and so you can see here that's a zero sum. It's plus 275, minus 275. You see a tiny bit of a difference here in minus 325 and plus 319, so very, very close. But what I use this page for is to hunt for value relative to, say, the minus 105, the minus 110, minus 120, things like that. I don't really like to get above minus 150, plus 150, things like that. So this would be a bet that I would exclude more than likely, unless I looked into it further and found later that I liked it. But here's what I'm hunting for: this minus 120 at a public book like MGM, priced out against Pinnacle, sharpest sportsbook in the world. So this is sort of the smart kid and the dumb kid, and I'm going to go in here and take a look at the markets and see why this is priced in this fashion. I can open up this Pinnacle line and see the minus 132 and see the direction. So actually what I'm seeing here is they went from minus 138 down to minus 132. So it's going that direction, pushing that price down and then making this side of the bet look more attractive. So I actually would play the other side here. Plus I can't play at Pinnacle because, US clients cannot. But what this is telling me, it's going that direction, and I don't want to get involved in that push. I'm going to check it also at Novig. Novig is a betting exchange here in Colorado. It's peer-to-peer, so you have a lot of smart, sharp sports bettors there. They're having some of the same action, minus 147 down to 140. So that's telling me that proportionally they're getting more action coming in on this dog side at that price point of minus 11.5. So that just gives you market direction. It tells me where kind of the market's moving, and I can check it a little bit later and possibly jump into that if need be. I don't like to pit two odds making sharps together, meaning Bet Online and Pinnacle, especially in a player prop type situation for Bet Online. I'm hunting for the public book versus the odds making books. Another one here I would look into certainly is this player points with Alexander, as we saw earlier on the positive EV page. And so again, there is a boatload of bets and a boatload of information to go through relative to kind of what you're looking for. Again, pitting Pinnacle against the, the public books, and there's just so many to choose from here. So I really have to take time to go through these, but I can at least eliminate some quickly based upon my parameters of what I want to do for a setup. I don't want anything above the minus 150, so I kind of keep going on that one. But again, I'll sometimes look into them because there might be some lagging prices that might be outliers and opportunities. So you can see here's another one, Booker over 24.5 at DraftKings. Let's open that one up. That's against Pinnacle. And sometimes you have to open up a little bit further to get the Bet Online information. As you can see here, this minus 115 is kind of standing out as a good price. Minus 108 at Caesars. You can compare that with what Bet Online's doing. They had a nice cliff dive from minus 106 down to minus 130. This would be a play that I jump on with Booker over 24.5 points. Definitely because the Sixers also give up a lot of points. So I think this is a good opportunity for those reasons to take advantage of this bet and go hit that either at Caesars minus 108 or at DraftKings minus 115. The market makers minus 130. So clearly that's standing out for a reason. There, Pinnacle's at minus 146. So this is one of many examples of how you're looking for a particular setup to cash in on. Boom. So we hit the Devin Booker bet. Let's keep looking. Let's keep cruising through here. Again, see another one. We saw this earlier too, PRA. It's interesting how you're going to see a lot coming from the low hold page and also the positive EV page. Let's dig into this again a little bit more and see if we can kind of determine what route we want to go. Now, here's the situation where you have Bet Online basically at a 50-50 stance. You have Pinnacle standing out over here saying, hey, we're up at minus 139. And if you open up their pricing, they did have a cliff dive, as we saw earlier, from the minus 110 down. So they've made a move, and they've said, hey, this under is getting a lot of action. This under is, we need to price it up. It's killing us. So this opening up some opportunity at a public book like ESPN Bet, DraftKings, Fanatics, seeing a lot of potentially mispriced scenarios. But my challenge with this particular one is that betonline.ag is minus 115, minus 113. Now, they had to move from the minus 110 down to 115, so that's a good direction. That's a good positive one. But I may wait on this a little bit to make sure they go up in price. So if you see this move up to minus 120, minus 125 here, and these guys are still straggling at minus 110, that would be the play. That would be the way to go. So that's how I would handle that particular situation. As you can see, you have to assess each scenario, whether it's the market type, the bet type, the percentage, and what you're dealing with over here. So in the totals, this is a mainline bet, college basketball. It's NIT. Let's open this up real quick. You can see Pinnacle. I trust them on the mainline bet, so they're at minus 129. Let's see if we got the direction in price. Yes, we do. Minus 124 down to minus 129. So it's only 5 cents. But again, who the hell's betting on Austin P, Alabama A&M total, right? So if these guys are making a move that direction, I trust that. I would go try to pick this up over here, or here at Caesars. And I'm going to double check Bet Online's. They're probably not going to see anything. Yep, that's flat. So this would be a small bet. Go put an MGM on the under 145.5 in the Alabama A&M game. You would simply hit this to add to your bet tracker, and then add the number, dollars you want to put in there, however much it is, 25, 250, 2,000, whatever. That's how you would handle that. Just scrolling down again, I would pass on this. Too high. Two market making books against each other. Don't want to do that. I do like, well, this is again too high. Two market makers. Again, you just kind of go through here. Colorado State, Texas, go Rams. I saw them get the nice W last night versus a Virginia team that I swear was running an 8th grade offense. Down over here, we have minus 128. Pinnacle's moving that direction. So this would be one that's looking like a potential under 145.5. Again, you go pick that up here at MGM. I like pitting these guys up against these guys any day of the week. Let's open it up a little bit further. Click through, you get a more data, more information relative to this markets and the total with CSU and Texas. And I scroll down here, there's a couple things I want to point out that I think are very helpful. So you can see here that under 145 priced at minus 115 at BetMGM. I think that's the bet. And let me tell you why. You've got Bet Online at minus 110 at 144 at 145. Also Circa, very, very smart sports book. An odds-making sports book that does really well with mainline bets, especially in college sports. So you got Pinnacle as well, minus 128. So you're buying this at minus 115 plus the hook. That's nice. These guys are all priced out and up. So this is why I think this is a good mathematical positive EV bet, is on that under 145.5 with CSU and Texas. All right, guys, you know, as always, I've got this on 24/7. This is the odds screen at OddsJam. This is actually the college hoops main markets for the games going on. You can see the color changes here. The red means it's a color, it's a directional change for pricing. So this was at plus 101 1 minute ago, and now it's at minus 101. So that tells me direction. So it tells me that bookmakers ever so slowly ticking, you know, towards the 11 and a half. So if you have an outlier over here, you have to compare the price to see if the minus 120 at 10 and a half is a better value or not. So you can tell the best odds over here to the left, and you have the OddsJam lines. The green is actually saying the market's going the other direction, so the pricing is actually getting a little bit worse. This is over 158 minus 101. Now it's over 158.5 plus 100. So you can tell, you know, who has the best price in the market using this odds screen very, very quickly. What I also like about it is you can tap into it and click on one of these, choices. You have the totals here in Seton Hall and St. Joe's. You can have it pull up the direction of the pricing, as you can see here. The timeline, when it's 10 a.m., it's moved up the other direction, so it's kind of going that way. So it's moving towards the over because it started off that mess at 145.5 and it's gone up. So the question is, did you miss any opportunity on that over yet? Best price would be at 147.5 at ESPN bet. So it's telling you direction of the pricing. Do you still have time to get in? Did you miss it? Things like that. So this is a really, really good tool that I use. Again, here's the betting exchanges in Colorado, Novig and Sport Trade, and the other public books versus the market making books. So again, having this tool on and seeing the direction of the market's direction of pricing really helps you enter the trade at a good time, or avoid one that you don't want to get into at all. So here's another good example. You can see this minus 7.5 at MGM. You got 6.5 over here at FanDuel. The market pricing is going kind of in a weird way. It started off at minus 7.5. It's kind of gone down. So, the question is, that's going an opposite direction, but it's, again, giving you more information that you need to make a good wager and how you would approach each bet, whether you pass on it or take advantage of it from a positive EV perspective. All right, guys, there you go. There's some of the tools and some of the tours around the OddsJam website that you can take advantage of all the positive EV opportunities. You can see there's a ton of them. So for me to give you 3 or 4 picks is kind of the tip of the iceberg. Again, if you have any questions about using OddsJam, once you get signed up, let me know. Happy to do a one-on-one consult with you and go through that to make sure you get a betting plan to really increase your ROI and expedite your education. So appreciate you stopping by. If you like this kind of content, make sure you join the channel. Make sure you share with your buddies that might need this content as well to make some extra money for themselves in the sports betting world. And as always, let's go make some mathematical money.